I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the troubling first weeks of this year, federal immigration agents shot and killed 2 of our fellow Americans in Minneapolis. These killings followed other instances of brutal violence and arrests in Minneapolis, Chicago, and cities around our country. Under the Trump administration, we've seen an unprecedented number of deaths in federal immigration detention, one of which was recently ruled a homicide. Desperate families are waiting for answers to many others. These are the devastating impacts of this administration's reckless, aggressive, mass deportation campaign. As members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, it's our responsibility, committee and legal responsibility, to conduct much-needed oversight of the Trump administration and to have a reasoned, bipartisan discussion on how to stop these abuses of power and fix the broken immigration system. Instead, we're having our second hearing in 2 weeks, demonizing an entire community based on a few individuals' misconduct. Quite simply, the Republicans on this committee are working overtime for the Trump administration's attacks on lawfully admitted refugees. This administration shot down refugee admissions on day 1, except for white Afrikaners. They've justified this decision based on alleged fraud. To be clear, under the Biden administration, refugees went through multi-layered, rigorous vetting processes considered the gold standard of vetting. In contrast, under this administration, from the comfort of their homes in South Africa, Afrikaners can apply for a refugee program using a Google form. This processing takes less than a month in South Africa, and it shows. Consider one recently arrived Afrikaner refugee. He made disgusting anti-Semitic posts in 2023 before he was admitted to this country as a refugee. Yet he was approved in record time by this administration, even as the administration claims it will revoke visas for, quote, anti-Semitic activity. At the same time, this administration is rounding up lawfully admitted refugees. In recent weeks, immigration agents have arrested over 100 refugees with no criminal record in Minnesota and flew them to detention centers in Texas for, quote, interviews, close quote. Some were released in the middle of the night, thousands of miles from home. They had no idea where they were. They were not even given paperwork or identification. These individuals had immigrated the right way to the United States. Many waited for years in refugee camps overseas. They underwent extensive vetting by the Department of Homeland Security and other federal agencies. They arrived on flights coordinated by the U.S. government. It is wrong to treat these refugees like they're fraudsters. So why is the government putting these highly vetted refugees in shackles, transporting them thousands of miles from home, and interviewing them in detention? We only have to look to the president's own words. He has repeatedly made bigoted and racist attacks on Somali immigrants, calling them, quote, garbage, close quote. He has said repeatedly he doesn't want immigrants from, I'm not going to use the word that he used, S-hole countries. How do I know he said that? I was sitting in the Oval Office with him when he said it. The racist attacks have not stopped with immigrants. Just last week, Trump posted a disgusting racist image of former President Barack Obama and his wife, Michelle. They are my personal friends. Barack was my colleague. I was the first senator to endorse him for president. I resent what President Trump created an image that was so demeaning to this man and his wife. His staff took the image down, but he refuses to apologize. The words "I'm sorry" are not in the president's vocabulary. This racism should have no place in our society or in our immigration system, and it should have no place in this committee. Let's be clear. Fraud is a crime and it should be prosecuted. I will remind everyone that it was the Biden Justice Department that opened the Minnesota fraud investigation and brought the first prosecution. And it is the Trump Justice Department that has diverted prosecutors and FBI agents away from fraud investigations to focus on the president's mass deportation campaign. Refugees are some of the most vulnerable and most vetted individuals in the United States. We can target fraud without shackling and detaining them in the dead of night. It is time we reject these racist attacks and restore order and humanity in our immigration system. I yield.